Adam, one of my other favorite moments that we had in chapel was we were down at the TD Garden, and this was, I think, around a playoff run a couple seasons ago. And for an odd, kind of time, most of the defensemen were all healthy. And, it's kind of this time you're kind of battling out for that last defensive spot. And I think it was Nick Holden was one of the guys who was coming to chapel too, and good Christian believer. And it was kind of hard, I felt the tension of like, you guys are both fighting for the same spot, but you're both brothers in Christ. And I just loved what you said. Could you tell us a little bit about what you kind of said to Nick and to our whole team in that moment?
Sure. Well, at least what I remember anyways. Yeah, so the situation was a new one for me. It was the first time I had been kind of getting scratched. Up to that point, I had been pretty well a regular, and like you said, coming on playoff time, that's everyone plays to want to play in the playoffs, and it's an exciting time. I think at that time I felt like I was being tested in some ways, and wondering how I could grow in my faith through this. And Nick Holden, he was a guy that was easy to root for because he's such a nice guy. And besides that fact, I genuinely wanted to see him do well, and I didn't want to see him fail in order to give myself an opportunity. And I felt like if I was honest with that, and it didn't mean, kind of to your point earlier, didn't mean that I was necessarily happy or content in the fact that I wasn't getting to play. I was still preparing like I would if I would get the opportunity. But I just had to tell him, like, I'm rooting for you. Like, I'm in your corner, and this isn't me against you. We're all on the same team. And, he kind of said the same thing to me. And, I really meant that. And I felt like, verse John 15:13 was something that kind of stood out to me. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. So, I thought about the sacrifice that Jesus made, like the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. And this was, a simple way that I could, if I couldn't sacrifice a little part of me for somebody else in a time like this, then, what am I doing? So, that was kind of where that was coming from. And, I thought that Jesus told us to love God and love others. And, I thought it was something that I wanted to try and do, and really, go against what the ways of the world would be, where you're supposed to be bitter and look out for number one. And, so that was something new for me, but I feel like it tested me, and it grew me in my faith.